Good morning, gang. Top of the morning, y'all. Have it Irish and Southern. There we go. So, obviously, I'm in a different spot here because my kitchen table is covered in garlic. So, we'll figure something out here, but figure this is what I'll do. I wasn't about to think about it too much here at 5 in the morning. So, this is starting to get scary, food wise. And my question is, what are your plans? Not 3 months, not 6 months, not 1 year. What are your plans for 3, 4, 5 years? This is the issue that is now facing the world. Okay? Italy is now saying there's a war for bread. Ukraine can't ship any of its wheat to Europe because the ports are blocked by Russian ships. And, of course, there's other stories that they mined their own ports, so the Russians couldn't get in, but now they can't get out. But, irregardless, 15% of the world's wheat comes out of Ukraine and half of the world's sunflower oil. And we're in the U.S., we use mostly vegetable oil. Europe uses mostly sunflower oil for their cooking stuff. That's not getting around. Okay, this is going to cause starvation drastically, starting in Africa. Okay, then it'll hit Europe, and then it'll hit us. Now, for years and years and years and years and years, we have all seen the commercial. They probably run the same commercial since the 70s, the Save the Children Fund or whatever, and you see the little black boy with the distended stomach, and the tears in his eyes, and he's hungry and everything. And, it's like, oh, we need to feed the people in Kenya, Maasai tribe. I can actually say I've been there. I've been in a Maasai village, okay? It's a little different than what they portray on the commercials, but somehow, some way, those tribes in Africa have survived for centuries, okay? Wheat didn't always get shipped from Ukraine to Africa. Somehow they figured out how to survive and eat and everything. But you've seen those commercials. What's going to happen when you turn on the TV or pop a video in here on YouTube or whatever, and the commercial is Save the Children's Fund, and they show a little black boy with a distended stomach in Philadelphia, in Detroit, in Chicago. That's where we're heading. Now, the USDA is saying, oh, we're not in any sort of risk of food shortage or anything. But out of the other side of the mouth, out of the other side of their mouths, they're telling everybody to stock food, put food away. Now, the USDA, just like everything else, is a government organization, which means it's politicized, which means, of course, they are going to back up and, talk whatever the Biden administration wants. All right, just like the FBI or whatever, it's corrupt. Unfortunately, we have a corrupt government. We are a banana republic. We know that. But when you listen to people in the know, the farmers who are telling you expect massive price increases, and I've talked about this before, by this fall, that's bad. But I want you to think about this. What's next year look like? Remember, this year in the spring, farmers were planting with a lot of the fertilizer they had purchased over the winter, last fall, whatever it would be. Okay? They had it. The prices are now going up, so what they need to fertilize in the summer, is going to be added to the bottom line. What happens next spring planting season? There isn't any starter fertilizer for them to put down in the ground. I mean, farmers will all fertilize their plots of land before even planting, okay, get everything in. There's no fertilizer for them. And as much as everybody, talking heads will say, oh, well, hopefully the Russia-Ukraine war is over by then and things will get back to normal. And I'm so sick of hearing this get back to normal crap. It's not like we're in this utopia where they go, snap our fingers and there's a bunch of fertilizer on the shelves. It takes time to make it, ship it, package it, etc., etc. It's not going to be here. When farmers put out the warnings that there isn't going to be food, and we are seeing countries in Europe already screaming about the availability and the price of food, it's coming to Canada, the United States, Australia, and who's wringing their hands? China. Because we all know what China's been doing. They've been buying up land in North Africa like crazy. Why? Because they're turning it into farmland. Okay? So now, as long as this Russia-China thing, Russia-Ukraine thing keeps going on, China's like, cool, we'll just keep growing it. We'll have all the food we need, and then any extra will sell to the world at, of course, inflated prices. Unlike, of course, what the United States says is, well, we'll grow all the food, we'll sell it all off to other countries around the world, and if we have any extra, we'll give it to our own people. All right. This is the problem. Our government thinks this is a big freaking game. Gas prices above $4. We're fixing to go above $5 on average across the country. Not that I have to tell anybody how much gas costs. But what's the government doing about it? Nothing. It's just, well, we'll blame somebody else. Who are we going to blame this week? Okay. Fix the problem. I don't care who's at fault. I do care who's at fault, but stop flapping your gums and do something to fix the problem, Joe. Okay. Open up the drilling. That would be important. We can go back to energy independent real quick. Okay. Probably within a few months, we could have the pumps going again, the fracking going again, the people back to work, and, you could be saving the people. But no, you're too convinced that, we have to have all these electric vehicles that will not work. Okay, period. Don't tell me otherwise. There's no proof that they will work. We can't keep Texas cool. We certainly can't charge electric vehicles. Okay. But food is the issue. And like I said, this is all a game. This is all part of this nefarious plan that the globalists have. They're going to control the food. How many recalls have we seen? I mean, anything and everything. Strawberries, cheese, lettuce, beef, pork, eggs, chicken, whatever it is. I mean, I've never seen so many food products recalled so fast in my life. Okay, it's probably never happened in history. How many fires have we seen on food plants, on distribution centers, on packaging places, whatever, on warehouses? If you don't think this is all part of the bigger plan, you're sadly mistaken. And so is everybody the normies who think we're going to go back to normal sometime. I don't know what they think normal is that we're going back to, but it sure as hell ain't what we saw under the 45 administration. Okay. That ain't coming anytime soon. Even if, or even when, Congress flips in November, we still have 2+ years of this moron in the White House. And nothing gets done without a presidential signature. Remember, Congress can do all sorts of stuff, and all Joe has to say is no. And unless there's a veto, which chances are that ain't going to happen, nothing's going to get better. So, like I said, what are you going to do for 2, 3, 4 years? Because We have 2.5 years until Potato Joe is out of the White House. And it's not like a light switch there either when we switch the occupant to the White House and everything all of a sudden gets back. It's going to take time. So you're probably looking from right now till at the earliest mid-2025. Can't remember, the new president would take office in January 2025. So we're looking at 3 years of things getting progressively worse. Do you have a plan for something as simple as food for the next 3 years? If it all gets way too expensive this fall, which is what is basically predicted by most economists and pretty much all farmers, let alone all truck drivers, okay? If gas and food gets too expensive, what are you going to do? Do you have it stocked now? Do you have a plan to replenish it now? Remember last year, I know a lot of people say the same thing. I'm gardening. That's great. Good. Okay, so am I, obviously. Remember last year, canning jars and canning lids were few and far between? You're going to see that again this fall, inevitably. When canning season starts, there will be a massive run on cans. Go to the store now and get them. Walmart has, every store has them now. There's lots of it now because it ain't canning season yet. Give it a month or so and you're going to see dwindling. Give it 2 months and you'll see nothing. Because remember, a lot of people are starting to do it now because they're realizing, the prepper community, even if they don't call themselves preppers, the community that's storing stuff is growing daily. This channel keeps growing. We get new people coming all the time, and I welcome every one of them and say, I'm glad you finally drank a cup of coffee here and got with the program. But what are you doing for your food? Hungry is no way to live life, guys. The shining city on the hill that the United States used to be, where we never worried about food. Anybody else remember a food shortage in their lives? Okay. The last time we had a food issue in the United States was the 1930s in the Dust Bowl. The population of this country was 1/3 of what it is now. What happens when you have 331 million people hungry? Don't be one of them.